Hi, folks. Welcome to the 183rd version of the workshop. The workshop is an online feedback mic where comedians are given a topic, being given up to 5 minutes to tell jokes on that topic, and then we talk about it. And we are going to have comedians that are trying material that they've tried on stage before. They're going to be trying new stuff, and some of them are just going to be working through whatever personal demons they're dealing with today. As always, the workshop is a comedy safe space, which means we all recognize the jokes we're trying are in the name of making people laugh. So we're going to be judgment free around content or why we're doing it, because we're assuming the person is saying it to try and make us laugh. If you are watching it from home or watching it on our Facebook stream, you can always comment on the workshop, and that'll allow the comedians to see what you think. You can maybe give them a tag or some praise or some stir and wags of the finger if you don't like their joke. But we are, again, an open forum for comedy. So tonight you're going to see 5 comedians trying their best, latest material on a word that they've been randomly assigned. And then they're going to get a chance to do a set on whatever they choose to work on. So with that all said, I think I'm out of things to talk about. I'm going to bring up your first performer for the night. Please welcome Chris Waldeck.
Woo! Hey everybody! Thank you for the claps. I can tell we're all not too excited about what's going to become in the next couple of weeks. So it's like, but I appreciate the enthusiasm anyway. All right, so the topic I got was nominations, and I basically want to start off with a story that always interests me. Like me, I love movies. That's one thing I'll say. I love movies. I always love watching the Oscars, Golden Globes. Just like seeing the awards being handed out. And then I saw they made a lot of changes pretty recently to how they're going to be giving out awards for best picture, best actor. Well, actually, more specifically about the film, like best picture. They said for all best picture categories, you need to have this amount. They were literally just saying you need to have this amount of different types of either different color of skin, some like color of gender, just diversity and stuff in general. I'm like, so basically, you guys are doing an MTV version of the Academy Awards, or it's no longer about the movie. It's basically just about it's basically just about more about what's about sending a message. It's no longer about the movie itself. That's just kind of what it felt like to me and stuff. They're not doing Yeah, that's kind of just what I was thinking about with nominations. I know back in school, my peers always not I never won any awards or anything. The only thing I was nominated for was those really random weird categories, like most likely to be grow up to be a human encyclopedia when I grew up and stuff. I've got ridiculously good memory of just all kinds of random things. It's crazy that I'm always just an encyclopedia of knowledge. But yeah, I still can't figure out how to talk to women. That's always been an interesting thing to me. I could tell you about the history of the movements, all the different things and the dates that happened, but I can't actually tell you about how I can make that interesting to any woman when I talk about them. And so literally, I literally make women's history disinteresting to women when I even talk about it and stuff. I'm they almost tell me, please don't say anything positive about the Me Too movement. We want people to still give a shit about it, if they by talking about it. And that's just kind of what I had for nominations. I'm not gonna lie, I've been very burned out working about 80 hours this week to get my bills paid. So, thank you though.
All right.
Hey.
All right. And now is the part where we give some feedback on the topics of nominations. Sherry, would you care to start us off?
Yes, I really like the part about being nominated to be the human encyclopedia. I think that's really funny. And the fact that you make women disinterested in women's history, that's really good. That's good. I like that a lot. So
Thank you.
I think you could expand that and make a whole bit about it. So
yeah, that's what I'm working on. I'm sorry. I'm just after 80 hours, it's that's kind of I just got ideas right now. That's kind of what.
No, it's a good idea. So yeah, I suggest working on it. That's all I have. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of material in dealing with specific nominees. You could pick a nominee and just rip on it. You could talk about that.
like for the movies or for like
Yeah, specific
different
movies
moments.
like you could take issue with some of the results. I think in the year that both Pulp Fiction and what's the crawling through a poop tube movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Thank you.
I was gonna say Train
Yeah.
Spotting.
Yeah, Human Centipede.
Also, yes,
That's a whole genre.
both of those movies lost to Forrest Gump. So I think between the three of those, there could be material there.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. I do appreciate that.
I just kind of laughed at your idea of like you only won the negative awards, and you made a comment about like most likely to be a human encyclopedia or something like that.
Oh no, the most random, the most weird,
Yeah.
kind of like the random one.
I think those are funny because they're incredibly like they try to like pretty up a mean thing to say about someone.
Yeah.
But I just like, do you really want to give the person with an excellent memory a reason to remember your name for revenge?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just thought that was kind of an amusing anecdote. I would flesh out on that one too.
Hey, I mean, you could do some like Wikipedia stuff. Like, if someone hurts you, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember, I can edit. Everyone can edit Wikipedia when you get famous. Everyone can edit Wikipedia when you get famous.
And you remember. You'll have like detailed stories of how they're douchebags.
Yeah.
Other
Yeah.
feedback.
Guess who's the source? Guess who's the source?
Yeah, and like, and again, it's not tracked by anyone. Like, nobody cares that anonymous person number 93 edited that entry.
Yeah.
Nobody's fact checking the fact checker.
Yeah.
All right. Last minute feedback. All right. We are going to move to our next comedian. So, Sherry, whenever you're ready.
All right. My word was Top Gear. Now, I didn't even know what Top Gear was. You know, Top Gear to me sounds like a store where sadists buy their equipment, or like where strippers buy their pasties. I don't know. So, I mean, I figured it was a dude thing, you know, because I didn't know what it was, and so I watched an episode, and it was interesting because the guys were British. And to me, like, British guys are like hardly even guys. You know, they got those snooty accents and their weird, wacky slang. I mean, you know, they're hardly macho. But in the episode, they went to Alabama, and there was 3 guys, and they had 3 cars, and they had a competition to see who could put something on their buddy's car that would get their buddy killed in Alabama. That was the point. So, like, on one car, they put vote for Hillary. On one car, they put man love, and they painted it pink. And then on the third car, they put NASCAR is rubbish. Well, you know, that was not going to work because people in Alabama don't know what the word rubbish means. But I thought about it, and it was like, women would never do something like that. And then I thought, well, like, what could you paint on a woman's car to get her murdered? And it would probably just be, I'm a woman and I'm alone. Anyway, no, but guys like to do mean things to their friends for fun. You know, that's just kind of sometimes how guys do. And women don't do that. Women do mean things to each other, you know, just because we're evil and maybe a little bit crazy. I don't know. Like, I don't know if you've ever watched any of the Real Housewives franchise, but I have seen a woman take off her prosthetic leg in a restaurant and throw it at her friend just to make a point. And sometimes women are mean to each other just inside our own head. You know, like, say if one of my girlfriends says she's going to start a diet, like, my first thought is, bye, I'm going to miss you. You're going to be in the gym and I'm going to be on the couch. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute. I think, wait a minute, what if she starts looking better than me? And then I also realized my third thought is that, oh, even if she does, she's going to gain the weight back and she'll be back. And the reason that I think that is because the diet industry, like, it's a fact, 95% of weight loss efforts fail. So there's a 95% chance she's going to come back just as fat or fatter than she left. I mean, would you really want me to encourage a girlfriend who was trying a birth control method that was 95% ineffective? No. And women, like, we don't be mean to each other to be mean, or we don't say these things to be mean. We just want to be right. Another way women are mean to each other is by inviting each other to parties. So, like, I get all dressed up, go over to my girlfriend's house. Turns out all she wants me to do is buy some Tupperware. That bitch. Women are wonderful. We'll donate our eggs to help another woman give birth. We'll raise each other's children. We'll give another woman our last dollar. But if she's been getting on my nerves, I will let her walk around with lipstick on her teeth. But anyway, so like Top Gear, I guess those guys like all got replaced. Like they got rid of the original guys and brought in new guys. And just like with Van Halen and Nicole Kidman, sometimes when you get rid of the original guys and replace them, things get a lot better. And that's all I had.
Hey.
I think the most controversial thing you said in that is that Top Gear was better after the replacement.
Yeah, man.
I only
we're
watched
on
one
we understand
episode.
murder women thing, but Top Gear opinion. No, we don't like that. All right, feedback for Sherry.
I liked the Englishmen aren't like really men, and then the Alabama people from Alabama don't know what rubbish means, and immediately from that I thought like they probably think it's like some sort of vegetable of some sort, and then like rubbish kind of ties back into the Englishman in a way. I don't know how to connect that, but it would be a good callback for that.
Oh, for sure. There is a American version of the show Top Gear, and there's also a show that you might like. There's the Real Housewives of Cheshire. It's like British.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a British show. There's like more than 3 seasons at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, just
I'll check it out.
Is that where the cat's from?
Actually, originally, yeah, I think there is a naming relationship between Cheshire and the Cheshire Cat.
The more you know.
I loved that opening joke about Top Gear being for like DOMs, like where they get their equipment. I thought that was a great one. I also liked the car line you had about like what could a woman write on her car. I don't even think you need to say like as a woman that is like I am a woman and alone. I think you just put like I'm a woman and like I have an opinion, and that would probably do it quicker. Like I think there's just anything you could write on there after I'm a woman, and there's somebody that deserves to die. Sadly, that's such a horrible joke to laugh at. I appreciate you for making it happen. Yeah, and I love the idea that British men aren't like you don't consider them real men. I think that's a funny one. Robert said that. I agree with that. I feel like British women are more manly than British men. Less wigs, and then yeah. Again, I always enjoy the angle you take to it. I thought it was great to loop it into other reality TV like The Real Housewives. That's a fun kind of exploration.
I liked that.
I enjoyed. I like the idea of women being so like petty with each other. One will take off her prosthetic leg, which like puts her at a clear disadvantage just to make another woman feel bad. Just a funny image. So thank you, Sherry.
Golf clap.
Other feedback, other comics, thoughts, feelings, emotions. How are we doing? Good times.
Just,
Oh, yeah.
just fine.
Good.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I'll usually say the best part of that was the Alabama joke with the rubbish, and definitely the I love the Top Gear stuff, like you were saying about the Dom and stuff, and I thought those two were definitely the strongest, and you should definitely keep those. That's one thing I'll definitely say.
All right, thanks.
All right.
I would maybe be careful insulting British men's manlyhood and Top Gear in the same breath.
What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? They're not
I
even
mean,
men.
well,
Like-
technically, you just did. You insulted Top Gear, so you just insulted them in the same sentence.
Just as long as you're not anywhere near a soccer game, you're fine. Then there's no backup.
They might call me a trollop or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just say you were showing them your impersonation of the Sting.
they might throw their biscuits at you.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? Not give you representation? Like, come on.
Yeah, like biscuits are our scones.
To tea and crankets.
I hope we don't have any. Like, do we have? I don't think we have any workshoppers from the UK, and probably won't after this. So that's good. All right.
They will Brexit the group. I swear.
Yeah. All right, Robert. Whenever you're ready.
All right. I started writing. My word is mainstream, and I can't. Everything I wrote was about politics, and I wrote a bunch, and I don't want to do it because I don't want to think about it anymore. I just don't. I don't want to do it. So I came up with one thing I thought of, and I didn't get too much into because my head was so into politics. But I wanted to go over it and maybe do more of a workshop where everybody can kind of build on it and just give me. Or give ideas, because it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, I'm taking all these. So the idea was like this year, since everybody's been confined and we've all been sort of on lockdown. I mean, some of us have more family than others, but the mainstream, other than like Tiger King and you know the craziness that's going on in the world, the mainstream has actually been defined in like locally. So you get to actually define what's mainstream. And like mainstream and what's cool in my dimension is, you know, like sweatpants being, you know, buying sweatpants that like I always buy them like 2 sizes larger. So I always I never feel like I'm getting fat, and then like always stay like 2 sizes ahead. And that's like the thing to do. Arguing with the dog and like in some sort of Han Solo Chewbacca where I assume the answers and just keep going with the conversation. And things like that. So, is anybody what has become mainstream to you all? And I know we're not exactly as talkative as we want to be tonight. So it's okay if you have nothing.
VR, because regular R has gotten real shitty.
That is true. Yeah, like it's cool to not be in reality. That is definitely in.
Oh yeah. Whether or not I'm in virtual reality or regular reality, I find either way I'm punching real life walls.
That's true. Matt, did you write these already?
No, you just prompted me.
Those are good.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just been like considering myself a hero for doing DoorDash. Like before, it made me feel like a piece of shit, and now I just like consider myself like. I want my own ribbon to put on my car. Like, I don't want to be like a support our troops ribbon. I just need like a magnet that says like, I get extra sauce, or like I tip 20%.
You're keeping it going. You're keeping them going. You're putting other people in danger. You know, like that's what's in. You know, like it's kind of like you're like you know, bring me like McDonald's, and you're sending.
Honestly, DoorDash is probably as close as I get to feeling like a Roman emperor.
Yeah.
You can say you can make it say I dined and dashed for the people. You know?
Honestly, with everyone trying to stay 6 feet away, the delivery members trying to make a quick getaway has really put the dash in DoorDash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have the other window open just to see what the comments are, and I see the delay, and I'm very like I just see how much I motion, and it annoy me.
I think that's the other mainstream thing is being like just continually disgusted with seeing myself in a Zoom meeting.
Yeah, having to stare at yourself so much, like it is just not doing well.
We're gonna have a generation of like anti-narcissists. Like nobody's gonna take selfies for an entire decade.
I was going to say what's mainstream is like only doing like hygiene kind of stuff from here up. But then I look at you guys and I don't see you guys aren't even doing that much. So I don't know.
No.
It's like a bust. It's like a marble from here up, but it just pushed.
Yeah, just
No.
swamp ass from here on down. Just
Yep. I am just running around this house like Winnie the Pooh. I don't even care.
I recently got a haircut because I'm worried that everything is about to get locked down. But I'll admit, because I haven't been on a date during the entire pandemic, my like manscaping game is like gone to shit. And so like really I should endeavor to make the carpet match the drapes, but right now I've got carpet up top and drapes on the bottom.
You're was like I'm trying like classy in the front, like wild in the like jungle in the back.
Man, just turn it into one of those like 70s beaded curtains that were at doorways.
Oh yeah. Hey, this is a quick sidebar. Do y'all remember when Rosie O'Donnell beaded like the one super long hair that she had growing from a mole on her chin? Just like, I know that's a deep cut and like has no relevance to anything, but do y'all remember that? That was weird.
I do. I remember that.
Yeah, it would like dangle and shit, like some fucking Star Wars shit. It was fucking weird.
She could go like fly fishing with it. Was that a real laugh?
That was a real laugh. That's really the sound I make when I imagine seeing Rosie O'Donnell fly fishing with her neck hair.
It's so weird that you have that as like I have identified what that laugh is caused by.
Yeah, no, that's the one and only use case for that laugh.
I'm glad I brought that out. I'm glad.
Oh,
Yo,
okay.
I mean, I don't like Trump, but I do miss like unironically enjoying Rosie O'Donnell jokes, and he took that away from me.
So we're all victims of the Trump presidency.
I know,
in some way.
we get now that we have President-elect Joe Biden, we get making fun of Rosie O'Donnell back, and I'm very grateful.
Make America laugh.
Make America,
Yeah.
Yes.
That's like Maraga. Like,
No, that's got bipartisan support now.
yeah, that's a reason. I mean, they should just throw that into the courts. All cases dismissed.
Supreme Court verdict. You can make fun of Rosie O'Donnell again.
There's like Superman 4 or whatever, where they have like the hair that's holding up like a steel beam. It's her
Right.
mole hair. Just kind of.
Hey man, let he who is without a weird mole hair throw the first stone here.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet you searched on eBay, you could find like a piece of it.
Oh.
I'm genuinely sorry I brought this up, but it's a good transition to my topic of regret.
Yeah, I've decided my word is Rosie O'Donnell now.
Incidentally, had a bit planned on it, huh?
I wish it was Rosie O'Donnell. That was great.
Well, I don't know what word generator Scott picks to get like Top Gear, but
Yeah, I didn't even know that was a word. Is that in the dictionary?
I've been seeing more properties, like actual like specific properties, come up as topics as has gone on. The list is running thin, I think.
Is the Webster like taking like sponsorships where they can just make names?
Yeah.
well, now Scott's not using a dictionary anymore. It's just a Netflix queue.
Fair enough.
Okay, so I was trying to find a Google image search and I can't, but I did find that she is suffering from male pattern baldness.
Male?
Who?
What?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Male pattern baldness.
Her words, her exact words. Verified tweet.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's what they call it, and even if it's women.
It's person
really?
pattern baldness.
What?
Yeah, it's just in the shape of a male pattern, so it's like it explains why she doesn't have hair there.
It's a flannel pattern.
Yeah, no, I can't find a single picture of her mole hair with the bead. So I maybe this is Bernstein Bears like
Yeah.
Mandela effect or Mandela effect like conspiracies.
What a terrifying thought to think that was back in the good timeline.
I want to get like a tinier hair that I have, like a weave, so I can just be like sort of just like that. I want my hair weaved, so I get like a cornrow coming out of my mole.
Just do one Jerry curl.
Yeah, Is there? I don't know if like there is one Jerry curl. Like I don't
No, you
think
just
you
have
can-
just the oil on one of them.
I don't think there's like a unit of Jerry. Like
English people probably have a unit of Jerry.
unit of Jerry. Like the
They
whole
call it
thing is a
Gerald,
Jerry
nobody
curl.
knows.
Gerald, 2.5 Geralds is equal to 1 stone.
It's a kilo Jerry.
All right. So we're going to wrap up our mainstream talk and we're going to move on to. I love how we gained listeners by talking about mole hairs. Rock on, you beautiful folks watching from home. All right.
Grow more hairs.
Let's get Rosie O'Donnell's 1990s mole hair trending.
All right. So we're going to move to Jester talking about regret.
I regret agreeing to do a random topic with a few hours left till showtime, but my topic is regret. I share about a lot of topics quite freely, but my regrets, that's not one of those topics usually. But honestly, I have shit else to do. The pandemic has canceled all of my plans. Scott posted an open slot. I checked my schedule and I figured, oh, I can move rocking back and forth crying in the shower up until Sunday. Yeah, that's totally fine. I can do that. So it's not all depression in my bit, thank God. Thanks to the lack of public events that have been going on, it almost completely cured my FOMO. Unfortunately, the pandemic has also added gravity to the formerly happy-go-lucky phrase YOLO. Honestly, in these uncertain times, my concern is GOLO. Grandma only lives once. But if I think about regret and I think about my life, I regret the way I treated my little brother when we were growing up. I mean, he was legit a tiny little supervillain, but I'm worried that I created a more powerful supervillain somehow. Like, I was leveling him up. I mean, I was trying to be a good person with him, but I was 2.5 years older than him, and there was this period of time where he could run and grab stuff and throw a mean right hook, but he hadn't learned how to speak yet, and violence was the only language he knew, and him and I would have conversations. I regret hitting him with this heavy rubber dolphin we had as a kid. I mean, not because it was the wrong thing to do, but because the heavy Stegosaurus toy also had spikes, and that would have hurt so much more. If we go fast forward to the 90s, I've never been great at investing. I lost half my net worth when the Beanie Baby bubble burst. I also foolishly invested in Pets.com, but the internet for dogs never caught on. And now, according to Business Insider magazine, I could have invested in property by now were it not for all that avocado toast I bought. Huge mistake. Also, the other day, I saw this ad that said I could lose 100 pounds with this one cool trick after I had already clicked on something else and it was too late. Now I'll never learn that one wild secret that my doctor will hate. I regret moving to Stratford, Ontario, because it's located inside of an area of Canada called the Snow Belt. I mean, at that point, I might as well have moved to the Nigerian Fraud Belt or the American Gun Belt. I worked at a health and safety company. I regret that. That's basically the end game of the hall monitor career track. Just recently, I've started listening to Christmas music again, and I regret it already, because every year in January, it's like I've got fucking jolly Tourette's for 3 goddamn months. In January, my Spotify algorithm gets all confused as it transitions from gospel Christmas music back to alternative rock and decides, oh, I get it, you really like emo ballads. And that fucking pisses me off. Not because it's wrong, but because I'm trying to put that shit behind me. I'm worried I will catch a bad case of evanescence fever, and I'm worried it's like the chicken pox, because I already struggled with evanescence fever as a teenager, and I'm worried I'm going to come down with evanescence shingles. I might not survive a second wave of emo lockdown. I don't want to go to the pharmacy for any reason. That's where the eyeliner and the sick people are. And can you even buy sweatpants with a fuckload of buckles? I don't know. You know, that takes me back to high school. I regret stealing my best friend's girlfriend in high school. Not mostly because she turned out to be a total bitch. I regret every single time someone wished me happy birthday and I responded, you too. I regret backing HD DVD in the format wars. I regret going to a small town dive bar on karaoke night and picking the Space Jam theme song. Everybody did not get up. I regret tucking in my shirt no matter the fuck what from age 4 to 24. I regret a 3-year-long phase in middle school where I wore jester hats all the goddamn time and I tucked my shirt in. I regret 2 out of 7 times I've ever said, "Watch this!" I regret every time I've spent money on a free-to-play video game, and I will do it again. I regret smashing a glass tabletop while playing a VR game. Not because of the table. Honestly, fuck that table, but that shit cost me the round. And you know what? Talking about regret here, I feel like I'm going to confession. And now I'm going to have, now since I'm going to comedy confession, I'm going to have to say at least one Hail Carlin. Hail Carlin, full of jokes. The opening act is with thee. Blessed art thou among comedians, and blessed is the fruit of thy brain. Operation Fool, Class Clown, and Toledo Window Box. Holy shit, motherfucker, thy shit was funny. Do you imagine you now screaming up at us, just like in your last HBO comedy hour? Glory be to shit, piss, fuck, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, and tits. Aw, man, this was inappropriate. Aw, man. Thank you.
Fuckload of buckles just rolls off the tongue, by the way. I really like that.
Yeah, I made a note when I was listening to that. The idea of trying to get buckles onto sweatpants is also a good one, too.
Can we all agree that sweatpants are making a comeback somehow?
Yeah.
We've all made jokes about this shit, but like unironically, that shit is coming back for real.
And they're like $1, so you don't have to wash them.
You do.
Well, you just throw them out, get another one. I think it's like 6 packs at Costco.
Oh,
Just like a week's worth.
Nice.
Just, I gotta go to the bathroom, got sweatpants on. Man.
All right. Again, I think there's just the fun phrasing in there, like fuckload of buckles. I think I really like your list of regrets. Like Evanescence shingles is just kind of a fun idea or phrase. So again, I loved listening to some of those specific word choices. At a certain point, I was like, it feels like you don't like watch Netflix anymore. You just have a playlist of your own regrets that you lived through. That's
what you instill. I picked a random number, and the prize was I get to contemplate my own regrets for the evening.
Yeah, we just gave you like an anxiety attack for your word.
I need to call my little brother. That's what I've discovered.
Yeah.
I like the idea of the Spotify sort of getting confused about your taste and kind of mixing it up into something new. It would be interesting to see you elaborate on that and kind of like pull it out. Like how else could you explore that, and how else could it get it so wrong?
I'll tell you what I've done in real life is in an effort to cure that shit, I signed up for a Sirius XM radio subscription. So I'm like, you just play my Christmas music, and Spotify, you just do my everything else, and I'm just like, just you stay in your corners. That's my real life solution.
Have you ever gotten mad at somebody who also uses your like Netflix account that they screw up your algorithm, where you're like, where they're watching?
Yeah. So I was sharing that shit with my little brother, who I speak so fondly of, and he renamed my account Poo Poo Face, and like I got like legit mad and like kicked him off the account, and I was like, no, fucking, you're done. And it was like a real big fucking fight. I'm like,
and all of a sudden you just notice that there's been a lot of tween romances watched on it, and that's all it shows you in your lists now.
No, he watched a bunch of weird Rob Zombie movies and renamed me Poo Poo Face, and I'm like, no, I'm done with this shit.
That's pretty punk.
He's fucking hardcore, man.
With the Poo Poo Face.
Yeah, no, he knew that would bug me. He knew that he knew I would be more offended if he threw some lame shit at me. You know what I mean?
He should rename it Fuckload of Buckles.
Like if he called me something clever, I'd be like, okay. But like Poo Poo Face, kicked.
Duty head.
Yeah, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're gone.
It's all about poop on the face. It's the sort of the motif.
Don't try to deconstruct this and be like, this is why this is insulting.
Maybe. Yeah.
No, like I mean, it's like a homemade gift, right? Like I want the insult that he crafts for me to be like personal and meaningful. Otherwise, it's not any good.
The dog agrees.
Is that the dog you stole painkillers from, Jerry?
It's like I need my pills.
Jones in for pain meds. Sorry, they're gone. No.
You got to watch that. Soon that dog will get hooked on opioids. He'll just be out there turning tricks, rolling over, playing dead for anyone.
Turning tricks.
Comedy will be here all week.
That's funny.
You got the same laugh that I got. Ah!
You don't
All right, other
you don't
feedback
want
for
to make your
Jester.
dog beg.
Yeah. I do have feedback. I liked, like everyone said, the Spotify thing and how, the emo ballads and going to Rite Aid or whatever. That was funny. The two things, I'm never really a laugher. Like I'm more like I listen to people and go, that was funny. That was funny. But the two things that made me laugh out loud was happy birthday. And you said you too, because I do that all the time. And then the 2 out of 7 times when you said, watch this, like, see, even just bringing it up makes me laugh out loud too. So list of regrets is really funny. You could totally do this as a bit, regrets is really, actually lucked out is a good word.
Is 2 out of 7 a funny enough fraction?
I thought it was funny. Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
I've got options.
The vast majority you haven't regretted. So then it's like immediately,
mostly.
like, what are the two?
Yeah.
Like,
It's quantifiable, but it's not,
Yeah.
it's not insignificant.
and it makes me as an audience member immediately go like, what is my ratio for that?
Yeah.
I'm really bad at dividing by sevens. So part of the reason I think it's funny, as I'm hoping that other people are as bad at dividing by sevens as I am, and I think I think that it will just catch people, and I think that I don't want it. It's not quite a third,
Yeah, it doesn't reduce, so I'm not like, why didn't he just say 33% or like a third?
Yeah.
Like I'm like 2 out of 7. That seems so specific. Like it's deliberate. Then it's not just a randomly chosen number.
It's probably a fair
Yeah.
assessment of the
Yeah.
amount of times I've regretted saying, "Watch this, watch this," like that. I'm all set.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Let me get my clock reset. All right. So I had a coincidence. I think like in 2020, conspiracy theorists have had to work a little too hard. Like we've just lost all track of what the word conspiracy means. Like the only people that anymore are benefiting from the idea of conspiracy theories are people that sell the journals that you write your manifesto in, and people that sell the red string for you to like connect the dots with the Illuminati. Like you're just trying to like knit a sweater of like an Aaron Sorkin movie of your life where it's just tight dialogue and everything wraps up nicely in 30 minutes. I don't think we need to have conspiracy theories anymore. That's why I think in 2021, the big thing is going to become coincidence theories, which is where you look at two very related things and you just treat it like a person at a Mississippi wedding. And you're like, those are not related at all, not connected. They're clearly cousins, but I'm not going to say relations matter at all. Like, I think I'm going to become a coincidence theorist, which is where I'm like, hey, my heart hurts a little bit when I eat too much meat. Not related. Or like my wife won't let me look at her phone anymore, and she keeps talking about a guy named Bradley from work. Unconnected. Or like the president still hasn't conceded the election, but Russian troops are coming into America. Dangerously unrelated. Like I think that's the level we're gonna be, and I think like that's true. Is anyone that's a conspiracy theorist is also a coincidence theorist, because we have incels, and these are like toxic little virgins that have just been committed to thinking that women get together and agree not to have sex with that one guy. Like that women, when they all go to the bathroom together, just pass around names of the guys that'll never get to see him naked. And they think that's true. Women. I have one wife in my house that can't even decide what she wants for dinner. And we think all women got together and agreed not to bone a person. That's bullshit. Okay. I had a girl that her sister tried to fuck me just because I was dating her sister. Like, that's the only reason. I look like I'm made mostly of mashed potatoes and held together with bacon grease. Like, that's just, women will not agree on that. Like, they will fuck the most hideous person if it gets back at somebody that was mean to them in middle school. All right. But they think, these guys will think there's a conspiracy theory, but they won't take a look and say, like, maybe it's that their personality is so awful that it's like a tumor filled with Arby's meat farts. Like, they're like, oh, that's a coincidence at best. All right. That's not connected. And like, I also think sometimes because of like God, people will say there's no coincidences. They'll be like, it's all part of God's plan. And I think that only is true if you've had a really good life. Like, nobody ever looks at the guy that like got his leg blown off by a landmine and they're like, hey man, you need to know that was all part of the bigger purpose. That there's no coincidences in that. We tell that to the same person when we let Sammy Hagar exist in our world. All right. Like, he's allowed to open his 10th shitty Mexican themed restaurant because what? He wrote one good song in the 80s and then's had a career of mediocrity since, like he's some rock flavored Jimmy Buffett. We allow that to happen. And meanwhile, you know who else can't drive 55? The guy that's a war orphan with 2 stumps for legs. All right. He just has to hop from village to village, but we let Sammy live his best life. That's bullshit. Can't tell me that that's like all part of a divine plan. Like, God just started a Rube Goldberg machine, just expecting it all to work out in the end. Like, also, like, God doesn't have that kind of time to interfere with my life. Some of it's got to be coincidence, because otherwise that means God cock blocked me from 3 threesomes in my life. All right. Just every time he's like, we can't let Kevin have the one thing he's really wanted since he's been 12. I don't know. He might die of happiness and we can't have that. We instead have to have one subpar open micer in the world to have that kind of anger to take out on stage. Can't let him just die of threesome bliss. I swear to God, if I ever go to heaven, I will fist fight Jehovah himself over those 3 threesomes. All right. I'll be like, you owe me. Back the angels up. We're just going to turn this into an orgy up in heaven. I don't even care. That's about my time. Fuck it. Coincidences.
Nice.
That's fucking great, bro.
The word, what was it? The phrase. You have the phrase. It was what? Toxic Little Virgins. That's your phrase.
Love it.
That's a good band name. That's
Toxic Little
If
Virgins.
I ever start an emo band, Toxic Little Virgins.
I heard that Toxic Little Virgins are opening for Panic at the Disco.
Yeah.
They're actually opening for Fuckload of Buckles or whatever. That was good. I liked going through the coincidences. You know, the obvious stuff, and just like kind of listing those. Those were really good.
I like that you touched on QAnon. That's a deep well. Literally, the things they believe are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
And the things that the Proud Boys do are fucking hilarious. Literally, any of these conspiracy theories, like if you just like go deep enough in them, they're all very fucking funny.
They're either at like absolutely batshit insane at the core, or just like masked like racism. Like, how do we be racist? We'll turn it into aliens.
Can I just say that I think it's weird that it's 2020 and you and I both referenced Sammy Hagar in our 5 minutes?
Yeah.
It's a
I
coincidence.
didn't know who Sammy Hagar is.
That's a deeper cut than Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
Is he like,
It's because I was in Vegas and I saw the Cabo Wabo and I was like, what the fuck is that a reference to? And then I realized it's a Sammy Hagar song. And I was like, go fuck yourself. You get a restaurant? Eat dick, Sammy Hagar.
Cabo Wabo just
oh,
genuinely.
he's the
also sounds
founder. He
funny.
created it.
Yeah, just fuck off. It just made me mad.
I've never been. Is that a restaurant?
Yeah, it's a restaurant, Cava Wabo Tequila at Planet Hollywood. He actually created that.
Planet fucking Hollywood. Fucking love Hollywood.
Sounds like a shitty Italian food place.
I just knew he created it. I didn't know who the guy was. Now I have to research that.
Fucking love it.
Oh, Sammy.
Yo, try the if you go to Planet Hollywood, try the Captain Crunch breaded chicken. It's actually really fucking good.
I bet it is.
It's a
I
weird
will
food,
when I
but
can
it's very
afford
good.
Is it's just is that like a dish at the Cabo Wabo or just at the Planet
No,
Hollywood?
that's
in
at the
general?
Planet Hollywood.
Okay, I was just gonna be like, that sounds exactly like what a road comic would make, like on day 4, when they're like overland at like Topeka. They're just like, fuck this, I don't even care.
That
I want to
sounds
make
like,
some coffee pot ramen and some Captain Crunch breaded chicken.
sounds like some shit like Scooby Doo and like Shaggy and the gang would make after they got their like royalties paycheck.
That's like in an 80s movie what a dad that's like in over his head would make his kids
Yeah.
for dinner because he like can't handle the divorce.
like Uncle Buck.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
man. I've had Captain Crunch French toast and delicious.
Oh, that sounds good too.
It does. It's amazing.
Oh god.
Sorry, Kevin. No more feedback. We're
No,
gonna
yeah, no more
Yeah.
food.
French
we
toast.
only
I
have
was-
feedback about Captain Crunch related recipes at this point.
Coincidentally, I was going to bring up the church cantina in Tacoma, which
Starbucks.
3 of us would be able to refer or know. They have an amazing French toast, like raspberry beret. Oh, it's so amazing. It's got actual cinnamon toast crunch on the side. Chef's
Wait, can we do a roll call real quick? I forget where everyone's from. Where's everybody from here?
Vegas, Las Vegas.
Hell yeah.
Washington.
Tacoma. Yeah.
Yeah, Tacoma-ish.
Yeah, Tacoma, Seattle area.
Canada.
Yeah, so you'll get some of these references in a couple years. Sammy Hagar is going to be huge for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys get like the losing Super Bowl team shirts? That's
Oh,
your
yeah.
country, right?
I hear real good things about this new guy, Steve Winwood. Like we're just catching up. No, I have an American green card. I'm actually just seeking refuge here during the pandemic, and I can't get back. I'm literally stranded.
That's kind of cool. Like,
Well,
you're like an actual refugee. You're
I mean, but I'm having a pretty good time.
you're like the Tom Petty song, not like the sad commercial song.
No, I'm just petty.
Isn't that Tom Petty?
Which one?
Refugee?
Oh yeah.
You're like a refugee. I don't know.
Living like a refugee.
Yeah, it's kind of like a party time refugee.
I know it's because I'm living in Canada. According to the lyrics, I don't have to live like a refugee.
So just live like a Canadian. So you
Yeah.
the worst thing that happens.
And so
to you
I'm in Canada, so I can.
shit.
I get to live with CERB, which is the Canada Emergency Response Benefit. They're just giving us money.
That'd be nice. America, they don't even give us bootstraps anymore.
No, you have to pick them up yourself, right?
Yeah. All right. So let's go ahead and roll on into our sets on whatever we want to work on. We'll work back through our comics. So we'll bring back up Chris.
Hey guys. All right. So yeah, Vegas has been pretty interesting. Like since the pandemic started, just to see everything that's been changing as of late. Like the biggest change I've noticed is how the casinos treat you. Like for instance, before the pandemic, if you if you ran out of money at the casino, security would pretty much just throw your ass out, basically, if you ran out of money. But now, since the pandemic and they actually need people, now they'll actually help you apply for credit if you run out of money over at the casinos. So that's probably the biggest change. I take it like most people here have been to Vegas. I know Kevin was just in Vegas. I know you remember a specific piece of food from Vegas, which I'm like, considering all the food in Vegas, I'm like that's impressive that you can remember all that and stuff. All right. So has anyone else here been to Vegas? Okay. Oh yeah.
I have been.
Yeah, sure. You're at Noreen's and Roberts has been. Oh man,
I'm
This
sad
is
about
so-
it. I'm a blue man.
Nice. This is sorry. This is me. I get like burned out so easy. Like I've been burned out, like I've started to kind of realize I may have like more of kind of like be on the spectrum a little because of like severe burnout that I get. It's kind of like, I wasn't actually aware of it for like nearly like, until like I was an adult and stuff. So like it's very difficult for me. Like I get burned out to the point where I can't like focus at all. And it's the weirdest thing I realized, which is that it made me kind of realize how my mom was as a parent and stuff. I'm not gonna say anything bad about my mom because she reminds me a lot of when I was a kid over in elementary school in gym class. She tried. She really did. Like, that's basically how I'll put it and stuff. But like the thing is that I realized that like kind of what she did was like what a lot of parents do with kids who are like kind of like more spectrum-ish and stuff is that the biggest thing they always tell is like, oh, kids, remember, you got to put a little bit of stuff to be normal when you're around people. You got to be normal. And I'm like, that's a lot easier said than done and stuff because like that's how you get burned the fuck out like I am and stuff is when like you keep trying to be normal. It's like I look at some parents like that when I'm like you do know what your kid has, right? Your kid's a fucking golden ticket. It's like, fuck being normal. That kid's going to be a fucking rocket scientist. It's like, you don't want him to be normal. No, that's how you fuck up if you make them normal and stuff. Like, that's how things go wrong specifically and stuff. It's like the worst thing, I think my parents, they actually like, well, my mom, when she was telling me like, oh, you got to act normal in school, do things good. I realized because they always hold the doors open. People love it when you ask questions. You go around and you just, talk and stuff. I was like, yeah, Mom, these kids don't act normal either. That's basically what I told her after I went to school. Though, what your teachers really love? They say your teachers will love it when you ask them a lot of questions, just about everything. Anything you have an issue with, teachers love it when you ask questions. I'm like, and after I realized, I'm like, no, teachers are not the best people to ask questions. I'm like, they already have enough time questioning why they became teachers when they see their pay stubs. They don't need some kid asking them every single question about what goes on in the classroom. Like, that's not how it works. I think my mom made things like surprisingly a lot worse for me. Like at first when people always asked me if I was on the spectrum and stuff, I was just like, no, I'm just from Florida, that's all. Yeah, in Florida, I was just another one of the guys. But no, as soon as you go to a place like California where they have standards, first question I got to do is set. Are you on the spectrum? That's the first question I got as soon as I did my damn set. I was up there. But yeah, you guys probably know. You guys have probably been to Florida too, I assume, right? Raise your hand if you've been from Florida. Raise your hand if you've been there. Sherry, you never been to Florida?
Nope.
Okay, well, you probably heard enough stories about Florida too. But yeah, that's the place basically where rich New Yorkers go when it's time to die. That's essentially what Florida is. It's also known as the home of Casey Anthony, Vanilla Ice, but yet our greatest export is still Hooters. That's right. We were the state that's so crazy and not even Ted Bundy could escape. That's right. Ted Bundy's final stand, good old Florida State University. At the time, people were wondering, how in the world did Ted Bundy get an FSU? I'm like, well, it's Florida, folks. He got in just as I did. He applied. That's right. That's all you have to do. You just apply. That's how you get in. Yeah, I can. Nowadays, when Massacre at FSU happens, it's just called a home game. That's all. Because if anyone who follows, oh yeah, one person, Robert's laughing, probably follows sports. Yeah, our team is dog shit right now. Yeah, I can also rip on them because I went to Florida State, got a bachelor's, my master's. My first job was doing duck boat tours down South Florida. And by the way, thank you for the chuckles. I'm so glad that quacks you up. And that should be a trigger warning that the rest of the set will remain foul.
Oh.
But yeah, I am 29 years old, but I just choose to identify as a dad at a barbecue. It was an easy transition for me. I just went from good old propane all the way to charcoal. I will definitely say this though about one thing about doing the autistic things, because people are always asking me if I am and stuff, and I haven't gotten officially diagnosed. I'm just starting to kind of come more into terms with some of the weird spectrum-ish thing that I have. But my biggest concern was always that I'd make autistic kids look bad. That was always my biggest concern. That I'd make them look bad because they're supposed to be rocket scientists, and then you see me on stage a parent sees me on stage 20 to 30K in debt, doing stand-up comedy at some dive bar and stuff. They're gonna be like, "Oh fuck me, I'll take the measles." That's what they say. They see that on stage. But no, seriously, it's like with the biggest issue I've always seen it is that like they always say, oh, you got to act normal, you got to like socialize and stuff. And people feel like, oh, why can't you just talk about stuff that we do? I'm like, because that doesn't fucking interest me. That's all. That's what I tell them. I'm like, it doesn't. I'm like, you're asking me to comment on something that literally doesn't interest me. Like, well, what do you want to talk about? Like, because they hear my set, they're like news, stocks, and stuff. I'm like, yes, that's exactly all I talk about. So I'm like, But yeah, seriously, I got like really big into stocks. I'm not gonna lie, I was nervous as fuck the first time I did stock trading and stuff. In fact, I would
All right, my man.
I ran out of time, didn't I? Fuck, sorry.
We're at about 7 minutes here.
Fuck, shoot. I was gonna finish one, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I ran. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. It happens.
It happens.
Yeah.
On a run.
That's why we do mics. All right, feedback for Chris on that.
I have some feedback. So, Chris, I've seen you perform at least twice, maybe 3 times. And my, like in Vegas. And I remember like thinking automatically, oh, he must be on the spectrum. So I think that like people are thinking that. So all this material is really good about your mom telling you to act normal and how you were worried about making autistic kids look bad. That's actually really funny, and asking your teacher questions. And as an educator, I know how annoying that is. So, yeah. And then about, parents are going to like look at you and then think, I don't think it was really clear how you said it, but I'd rather my kid have the measles or whatever. That's fucking hilarious. So, I think all that stuff is really good, and I would keep honing that because it's really good. And by the way, I was at Noreen's Lounge like when the big talk was that you had just gotten laid. So I remember that. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up and embarrass you. So that's all I have. Thanks.
Yeah.
I've taught special needs kids before, and the phrasing that I find works for me is that I'm happy to let these kids look all spacey and like accomplish and imagine amazing shit. That's fine.
Yeah.
There's an old school version of education that decides that like kids just have to look like they're busy, and like employees have to look like they're busy, but like turns out people when they're going like are really actually like thinking about some good shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm all for that, like not looking normal.
Yeah.
And looking thoughtful instead.
I dug the line about like I thought I was just one of the guys in Florida, but when you go to a place with actual standards, like they immediately thought I was special needs. I think that's just kind of hilarious.
I'm mad about. Are you? Oh God, I'm mad about the shit Florida gets. They have something called the Sunshine Law in Florida, where we get to read every single police report and blotter, so that we get to hear all of everybody in Florida's like dirty laundry. Like, do you really think there's not weird shit happening in like fucking Maine with pine cones that we just don't get to hear about? Like, people are weird, but Florida's like gets talked about, and they're just like they're weird and honest, and I think that's respectable.
Yeah.
You haven't been to Florida long enough.
No, I haven't been there. I haven't been there.
Did you guys read something that just happened in Florida? Did you guys hear about the thing that involved a black leopard that just happened in Florida?
The what?
A black leopard. Well, basically this in Florida there was like this guy, he was running like this petting zoo in his backyard, and this one guy came out, and the owner he's like, yeah, for $150 you'll get a full contact experience with a black leopard. You'll get to pet it and cuddle it. That's how he advertised it. And pretty much the guy was like, oh, sweet, so he gave the owner $150. The owner opens up the cage, he walks right in. It was immediately basically mauled by the black leopard like as soon as he walked in. And I'll say one thing. I was like, well, like, immediately, of course, he was rushed to a hospital in an ambulance. He was like half scalped because his ear got ripped off by the leopard. But I was like, the owner wasn't lying when he said he would get a full contact experience. That's exactly what that was.
And now
you say what contact you wanted.
Yeah, but he's like, oh yeah, you can pet it and cuddle it. As soon as you open the door, they just rush. It's like read any story about a leopard. You know, they're never good. If you hear a story about a leopard mentioned, they're never good. It's like those are the things that will attack you when you come too close to the cage. It's like, why the hell would this one let you walk in? That's Florida, right? That's like the definitive Florida.
Okay, I take it back.
Yeah, because like every state will have at least one of those people, the person that'll pay and the person that will have it available. It's just only Florida lets them both interact.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. Kevin.
All right. Other feedback for Chris. I found myself wanting more examples. Like, what questions would you ask the teacher? Because, like, you could, like, I just think it's funny because, like, as I'm a teacher, and I will always answer a question that's like relevant to the conversation. But I could see a parent being like, people like when you ask questions, and you're just asking off-topic things. She'd be like, why do you have that many chins? And I'd be like, oh, fuck you, kid. Like, not all questions are equal. So it's like, what questions did you ask? Those would be, I think, good things to have in there, too.
Yeah.
All right. All right, we're going to move to Sherry. Sherry, whenever you are ready.
All right. Well, you can tell by looking at me, I don't like to exercise. The only exercise I ever really enjoyed was a Kegel exercise. And just in case you don't know, those are exercises women do to keep their lady parts in shape. Well, I did so many Kegels, I earned the nickname The Grip. And I don't know what that says about me, that my vagina has a nickname worthy of a WWE wrestler. But I always imagine the Grip more like a superhero. You know, like a superhero like a little superhero wearing a pink cape with a hood and a tuft of fur. And her superpower, you know, like instead of leaping over tall buildings in a single bound, would be to squeeze cylindrical objects until you just end up handing her your credit card. But I have gone through menopause, and things are a lot different. But they don't tell you what it's going to be like. You know, they joke about tumbleweeds and cobwebs down there. It's not like that at all. It's more like your vagina becomes like a cranky television judge. It's just really hypercritical of every performance. I mean, like basically your vagina becomes like Judge Judy. I haven't seen my vagina in years because I don't bend that way anymore. And the last time I saw it, it looked like a cross between a sea anemone and a pufferfish. And like, you know, I don't know what it looks like. Nobody asks, you know, my husband doesn't ask me to send pictures of it anymore. The last time I did, I went in the bathroom. I had my leg up on the counter. I was just getting ready to take the picture, but the bathroom attendant kicked me out. So, but one good thing about being in menopause is that I can sit on your grandma's white couch with no underwear, and I'm not going to leave a spot. Like, you don't need a mop and a bucket to clean up after me. All you need is maybe like a little whisk broom. And that's it. Now, can I just say that these are jokes that I really like. And you know, Kevin, I like to do vagina jokes. These are ones that always, I think it's just a little bit too much. I don't know.
I like the joke with the bathroom attendant. I think there might be an opportunity to make fun of the bathroom attendant on the way out. Like, and he kicked me out and he didn't even offer me a mint.
Yeah.
Like, you could maybe take the heat off the bathroom, put the heat onto the bathroom attendant and off of your vagina. Or
could you have offered did he offer to take the picture? He's like, ma'am, I can do that for you. Like,
yeah.
For extra tip. Like,
yeah.
It's like, he has a camera for you, you know, he just has one. He takes one, you know, complimentary vagina picture.
I like him as a character in the drama.
Yeah.
I think a Kegel sounds like a breakfast sandwich.
Wait, would I guess would the bathroom attendant in a women's bathroom be a woman?
It's going to be a woman, yeah.
Okay,
You
yeah,
guys
no, I didn't. Yeah.
You guys just all pictured it as a man, I guess.
No, I imagined the dude you imagined when you imagined a manly British man.
Yeah. Kegel sounds like a breakfast sandwich. That's funny.
That's fucking.
Yeah, you
jokes.
could get a Kegel McMuffin. Not after 10:30.
It just has like a little.
No, honestly, that Kegel bit is tight.
Yeah.
I don't know why I just wrote a tag with it. Just was like like my vagina looks like. Or after doing all these Kegels, my vagina looks like Linda Hamilton's back. For some reason, I'm just like, yeah, it's badass. It's got like somehow like your vagina has a 6-pack.
Yeah. Also, like the mark on the couch that but I feel like it needs a great name, like Odin's Kiss or something, something ridiculously vivid.
Pandora's box.
Yes. It's like the winter rose.
Yeah, Pandora's box. You leave nothing but like hope behind.
I got a specific question, because my favorite line that never gets any love is that the superhero, the Grip, she wears a pink cape with a hood and a tuft of fur. And it's like nobody ever gets that. How do I make people get that? Or is it just because men don't know like the clit has a hood?
I think it's the tough. For some reason, it's the tuft of fur. Because I can't. I'm trying to visualize it, but like I like the hood, because that makes it work. But I don't know. I don't know if there's another word you can use besides tuft of fur.
Or use like a character that's like more like someone that can picture the actual like the hood, like a looks like the guy from Assassin's Creed, or just something like that. Like there's actually if there's a furry hooded pop culture reference of some sort.
Yeah, does it got like a mohawk or something? Like I don't know.
It's a pussy, you guys. It has a hood and a tuft of fur.
What? This is a metaphor? I don't get it, Sherry. I'm sorry. You haven't seen a vagina in years. Neither have I. Ever.
It looks
So
like
thanks.
Russian Batman. Like
I like.
Step one, understand vaginas. Step 2, understand vagina-related jokes.
Yeah,
That's
I'm gonna
how it
Google
goes for me.
this.
I think this needs to be prop humor. That's what it needs to be.
Yeah, could you bring out a little Barbie doll that you've got?
The Tuft.
Yeah.
Captain Tuft.
You can
All right.
You can bring out a small cat or a luncheon meat sandwich or other various
Yeah, a
accoutrements.
Kegel breakfast sandwich.
Got some Kegels. The 2-for-1s.
Kegel pops. That just sounds like a cereal.
Sugar frosted Kegel pops.
Yeah. Oh man.
Turns the milk fishy.
Yes. It's a biscuit.
Yeah. No, I love your vagina jokes. They always bring me joy. I do love that I can sit on your grandma's couch. I just because that's such a weird brag.
Without leaving a mark, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your personal Zorro.
That's why Grandma kept the plastic on the couch.
Yeah, Grandma had that wet ass pussy. Couldn't let anyone sit on it.
Oh man.
You ever? Hey, I got a new thing for your regrets list.
Yeah, there's a delay. Can you like quickly stop it?
Yeah.
I never want to hear you say that again.
Do you ever feel bad for 2 viewers of the workshop? Because I know I do right now.
I think one of them's me.
Yeah, probably.
I'm probably the other one because I got my phone going on over here.
Damn it.
All right. Pressure is off.
Yeah. All right. Other feedback for Sherry.
Keep doing Kegels.
Yeah, like.
What do you think I'm doing right now?
Good for you.
How do you think she's holding the phone up? Yeah.
Okay, that was fucking fire.
Every time I get up from this chair, it goes.
That's like one of those things in Vegas where the guy's like floating on the bar.
Oh.
Holding yourself up on the
Just got a little just vaginal Cirque du Soleil going.
Man, the Rosie O'Donnell and Kegels today. I think that's the.
All right. Robert, whenever you're ready.
All right. So I was taking a shower a few months ago before the lockdown started, and I was still running before I gave that up. To actually just turn to marathon pizza eating instead. And I was running so much at the time that I had caught jock itch. And if anybody doesn't know what jock itch feels like, it feels like your underwear is filled with beard shavings and fire ants. So needless to say, I had to always apply this cream, and I'm not proud that I had jock itch. It's kind of gross, but I was getting rid of it. And so I get out of the shower, and I get the tube, and I apply this cream, and it's very liberally because I wanted this to go away, and it was bothering me so much. Enough where you rub when you put too much on, it doesn't rub in all the way. You can still see the cream no matter how much you rub. And so I'm rubbing it all down there, and I get this really familiar smell. And it doesn't smell bad. It smells wonderful. It smells like relief. And I realized that I had grabbed the tube of Icy Hot. So I had I knew, my brain immediately kicked in, and I need to solve this problem. I mean, it turned into something like the end of Ocean's 11, where I'm I know I got to solve all these problems. I got to solve these problems because there's about to be a pain that kicks in like no other before. And so immediately I was I don't care. I don't get dressed. I don't do anything. I run downstairs because the first thing to do is search the internet on how to neutralize the coming pain. So I get online and I start searching, and it's not too easy to search for something. And right about when I hit enter and I started looking at the Google results, it kicked in. And I don't know if anyone has ever felt a pain like this, but it's so severe and just mind-numbing that you can't read straight, and you can't think straight, and you're trying to sit still. So I finally click on the link, and it was the only one that said how to neutralize an Icy Hot. And I don't know and so I start reading it, and I realize this person is writing this solution like they do cooking recipes, where they need to tell me about their daddy from 1805 and the whole story on how they came about this Icy Hot. And by this time, I am absolutely just my mind is recoiling in pain, and I'm dancing. So I can't even do it anymore. And I go ahead and I just run, and so what do I do? So can't think. The only thing I can think of is, when something's spicy, you apply milk. So I run to the fridge, grab almond milk because I don't have regular milk, and I run to the bathroom, still naked, and I don't realize I didn't get anything to apply it. So, and I'm still I can't think. So I just start pouring it in my hand and splashing it, and I just start splashing it against myself, and it's just running. I'm covered in milk, naked, 40 years old, and this whole time I can't even get to things fast because if I run, more air passes and it burns more because that's how Icy Hot works. And so finally, cupping, splashing, just at the end, I just laid down, let it go, and 30 minutes later, pain subsided, and funny enough, the jock itch went away after that, and I'm not quite sure how that worked, but it seems to be a really good way to get rid of jock itch. That's all I got. I wanted to tell that story. I feel like there's something in there. It was the first time I've ever told it. And
there's something in there. Oh my God.
I was just laughing because I think ending that with, and anyways, that's my recipe for how to get rid of jock itch would be perfect.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a review I left of a product I bought on Amazon one time. I bought some of those charcoal Biore Ray strips that, like, you know, those pore strips where you like peel off all the shit that's all up in your nose. And it, like, I used some sort of fucked up soap that had like a chemical reaction, and it, like, I ended up with a chemical burn all over the whole, like, my whole nose. But I gave it a 3-star review, and I said, like, yo, this shit left chemical burns all over my face, admittedly, but not a single goddamn blackhead. So it did what it said it would do, but I'm a little mad about it. 3 stars.
Yeah, I wanted to. I didn't know how it would play out, and I want to like separate it out into like chunks where I can kind of go in on it. Like I think the idea of the recipe thing, I could build on that, and I think it can be pushed into like an actual act rather than just, you know, a story that I ramble on.
It can be. And believe me, I fucking felt you on that. Holy shit. Here's my recommendations is I feel you. I am as soon as you said what you did, I felt the burning empathically. You do not need 10 to 12 examples of how fucked up that shit was. Pick your like 2 to 3 favorite and hit us with those. Now the other thing is I think you've developed the first part of it better than the second part of it. Once the intensity hits, I think your delivery has to match that level of intensity.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just say, like, and then I started researching how my penis was burning.
Is that how it
You know,
sounds?
a little bit. Like, it slowed down the pacing. I'm like, you need to research this faster. You need to go, I need milk. I need milk. Like, I need milk. Like, and also, the moment of relief needs to be anchored. And I need you to impart the sensation of relief upon me, because you have already imparted the sensation of a burning penis upon me. and I also now need to recover. But I loved it. I loved it. There's something there.
Yeah, definitely needs like some act outs in it. Some.
Yeah, you need to feel the burning penis. Feel the burning penis.
I need to become the burning balls. I need to become.
Be
the balls.
All right, so I have a question. Did I miss it, or what was the reason why you couldn't just go take a shower and wash it off?
Because water makes it worse.
Water does not help at all.
So that's the one thing I knew. So I could go into that where water.
And I'm like, why is he Googling? Why doesn't he go wash it off? Is what I'm thinking.
No, yeah, where was the urgency?
Yeah, I think like pointing out like the mental clarity that you had in that scenario, because I wouldn't have had that level of calmness where it's like, I just like when your balls feel minty fresh, like that is nirvana that you've hit. You've hit like enlightenment, but you understand it's going to go terribly wrong. Any story like that, what I would do is as you write that out or as you work on that, is where can you add like funny descriptors? So you said like I applied it very liberally, you know, like if my junk was a county, it wrote Bernie in on the election. That's how liberally I applied Icy Hot to it. Like you can have those little just funny phrases you can insert in there that can kind of help because you're building to a laugh. You can put little laugh spots in there so the audience isn't like 5 minutes later like, oh, his balls were fine. Okay. Do it this time.
You can throw some evocative references in there, like I poured that almond milk on my dick like it was at the end of the Flashdance dance. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's just like, you know, like you looked at like I don't know, and I know your life, so I'm sure. I know Daisy was.
I know your flaming penis.
I know your dog was probably like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Oh, she was wrong. Oh, that's probably a detail I could put in. She was like running with me, like I was playing with her. But I'm like dying.
That is funny.
Yeah.
An extra character is always funny.
Did she think you
we
like a
want-
spotter
We
for you?
want
during
the
this?
dog. We want the bathroom attendant. Add them in there.
Like I just had like a pint of mint chocolate chip ice cream, and I was running away from her.
Oh, hashtag don't put your dick in that. But oh my god, right? Like,
And I'm sorry, Sherry. Did we cut you off on your feedback?
No, I just think he should address that because like
Like, why
so
didn't
I was
watch it all?
wondering the whole time is like why doesn't he just get in the shower? So yeah.
So, like when I'm like sitting there and I have my like I know because I want to set it up like it's like that moment where you're like it's like you're dead man walking and you're okay for a second, but the storm's about to hit.
Mhm.
And so I could explain that in my moment of clarity that like I couldn't get in the water because that's the one thing I do know is that you can't do that.
I like
Yeah.
the crossover of the other logic, like the eating peppers logic and the jumping in waters
Mhm.
logic. That made it real.
Yeah, I also like the idea of you like internally having enough mental awareness to like set a timer in your head where you're like, I know I have 3 minutes before shit gets real. Like diffusing a bomb level of tension in your house right now.
Also, the Canadian in me just wants to add, I'm sorry.
Yes, it was. It was so surreal. Like that. Yeah, that did actually happen. I'm not that creative, and it was so surreal that I was like, "This is going. I'm gonna remember this for forever." I want to paint the picture of like a grown man running through his house, naked, trying to because when you get that sort of pain, you lose like at least three like if you're I'm 40, so I was like an 8-year-old logic. Like I had enough brain power to go about an 8-year-old's logic. So that's how I could piece things together, and I couldn't. You can't keep track to think past that.
I think this would be a fun one to do on stage because you're gonna have audience that's having reactions because we all had some level of reaction to it, and being able to call those out because I'm sure when you're up on stage doing it, you're gonna see some guy in the front row just get like uncomfortable.
Yeah. It reminds me of like a Patton Oswalt-esque sort of story, like where he can go. But I mean, I'm not
On
Anywhere is
stage,
good,
the
but-
physicality would be
yeah.
important.
kind of getting into it and talking about the pain. But that was
And
good.
then, and you have to like do the whole thing, and
Yeah.
shit. That story hurt me. I'm not gonna lie. It
Yeah,
hurt.
don't
It
ever
hurts.
do it.
It hurts to think about now. I'm like,
Don't
I'm
ever
offering
do it.
criticism while like grabbing my pants right now. It's like,
I've cut jalapenos and gone to the bathroom right after, and it's not even close to what the
Oh.
icy hot did to me. That is-
no.
I love how the three guys all were like, yeah, we get where you've been. Sherry's like, why wouldn't you wash it off? Which tells me Sherry's never been in that situation. She never accidentally put
She never put
something
icy
not
hot
supposed
on
to go
her
a
pussy
vagina on it.
because like it would go
No,
similarly.
wait. Let me say that back in the day, a partner and I used Vicks Vapor Rub for lube, thinking it would add a little minty freshness.
Ooh, bit too much, huh?
We just stopped and looked at each other like,
Oh, yeah.
oh.
Almond milk doesn't
Right
work.
here.
Things starting getting hot, and then they started getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Almond milk didn't work.
Almond-
milk is
I
good.
also
Almond-
love that you're like that much of a woke person that you're like,
I
it
love
bit you in the
that.
ass.
I love that you brought in the idea of milk, and then all you had was almond milk.
Milk, yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
in my mind, I was wondering, are they the same like thing?
First of all, it would not have worked even if it was milk, but no, they're not the same. I don't think
Well,
almond
yeah.
milk would get rid of like a pepper spice.
Well, it's milk works to neutralize capsaicin because milk is a basic compound in capsaicin.
I'm pretty
It's
yeah.
acidic.
I mean,
Right.
almond milk's
Am I
just
mistaken in that?
almond
Or-
water. I mean, yeah, like almond.
I don't know
it.
it. I don't know the pH of almond milk. The pH of milk is 7.5, which is the same as the human eye.
Yeah, I know milk is because of the fat content. That's why cream works better than milk. But yeah, I don't know about icy hot. I just
The
I think there was
pH
also
in
no
almond milk.
pH of icing
for
hot
penis
is
still hurts.
fuck you.
yeah. And I think the worst part is like you have to realize during that like moments of uncomfortableness, those minutes is like you did this to you.
Oh yeah, it was just like it was really like, oh fuck, well I got to deal with this now. You know, like there's nobody's coming. You know, like we're basically on lockdown.
Yeah, you're not calling 911 for this.
This deserves a lot of credit. I haven't mentioned it. The reveal that it was in fact icy hot was ultra effective. Ultra motherfucking effective. I went, oh, like it was gnarly. It was like you did a good job of telling the story without giving up the game.
It's a little misdirection. All he's going to talk about is his dick the whole time and jock itch, that kind of a thing.
And that was I thought that was gross until you brought up icy hot.
Yeah, that's the only thing that about this that I didn't like is that I wanted to be able to start it without having it's jock itch.
Lean less into the jock itch because
like
anyone who knows that that's a fungal infection is like legit ew. Like,
well, yeah, and
you can make it like more accessible by saying like I was having general crotchal discomfort and like let people write their own terrifying story in the blanks.
Yeah, I didn't know any other because when I was writing it, I was trying to figure out one way. Why would I need to apply this, and what's the quickest way without having to explain it?
Apply what? Icy
like
hot?
A cream. You know, like how do I?
Yeah.
Like
oh.
You know, so you have to you can't just be like, well, I was gonna apply my regular cream.
No,
well,
like, maybe you open with something that's more accessible, like swamp ass or something. You know, more run of the mill.
Yeah.
Everybody got swamp ass, especially in Florida, Nevada. Back me up.
Yeah.
Swamp ass is real.
It's very real. I know from work experience.
Yeah, Tacoma. That's why you got the aroma. We know.
Yeah, we have icicle ass here in Canada, but that's a whole other situation.
All right.
That sounds like a chill. That sounds pretty chill.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna keep it rolling here. Jester, whenever you're ready.
I don't have anything written. I need one of you guys to throw me a word, and I'm gonna hit you with what I got.
Ribs.
Ribs? Okay. Yo. So I live in London, Ontario, a town that for some fucking reason has 2 Tony Roma's rib locations. And no other fucking town I've ever been. Every fucking city in the world has 1 fucking Tony Roma's rib location. And London has 2. And I don't understand what's going on with there. My problem with ribs, though, is that it is similar to chicken wings. There is just it is an inappropriate amount of work to the amount of shit you get out. I do not want to have to rotate and dive in and fucking dig into this shit to have to get any fucking meat at all. Like, that's why I'm all about those motherfucking tendies. Like, just give me some fucking meat with some flavor on it. Don't make me fucking work for this shit. All right, that's my ribs bit. All right, new topic. Anything. Look around your rooms. Call something out. Like Kaiser Sose. Jurassic Park. Okay, so clearly, if we have learned anything about late stage capitalism, is that it is obviously not surprising that they kept reopening that motherfucking park. Like, they are going to keep doing that shit. They are going to keep risking human lives. They are going to keep opening that park, even though it is literally a park where they're like, hey, get next to dinosaurs, and they don't seem to think that there's a consistent problem. They will, if that park existed, it would be open today. It would be open today, and there would be coronavirus coupons for that shit. Next topic.
Blankets.
Okay, so I've got this. Okay, this is gonna be. Give me a minute. I'm gonna do prop comedy, and it's gonna be fucking difficult. I've got a 25-pound weighted blanket here, and it is the fucking shit. It is like a hug from the universe while I sleep. I don't know if all of y'all have seen this new Pizza Hut weighted blanket that has been going viral, but I want it. Because here's a situation that I had involving Pizza Hut and a weighted blanket. I have a Pizza Hut that opened up at the end of my street, like fucking a 3-minute walk away, and I have been going to it way too fucking much. I got the pizza farts on this shit. And then I locked this shit in. I thought, oh my God, I cannot be in the same room as these goddamn pizza farts. But I don't have anywhere else to go because I'm on motherfucking pandemic lockdown. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna lock these pizza farts all up in this blanket, like it's the fucking like firefighter outfits from fucking Chernobyl. But no. See, here was the problem. So like when I got this shit laid out, it's like I've got this like pipeline that runs down the side of my body here, and it's like a fucking fart pipeline right up to my face. And there is one way out for these farts, and it is this way. And it got fucking bad. I had to fucking throw that shit off of me like I was opening up the fucking vault. And then I let open, bringing it back to Pandora's box. It smelt like I had opened up Pandora's box. And I know gynecology was not working back in the ancient world, so I bet Pandora's box smelt pretty fucking bad. Next topic.
Slime.
Slime. Okay, does anyone remember that fucking Nickelodeon like show where it was like the Nickelodeon Kids Choice Award, and the award you would get for being the most popular person was they would throw slime on your ass? Like, is there a way out of that? Like, who volunteered for that? And the categories for that shit was children would decide what the best kiss was. I don't know. I just think that's fucking weird. I don't want to talk about slime anymore. Next topic.
Pastels.
Pastels. Okay. So I honestly like pastel colors. I think they are too cute. I have been trying to update my outfit with more bright colors because honestly I keep wearing all of this earth tone shit, and it's just not working for me. I don't know, pastels. All right, I'm done. I'm spent.
All right. Feedback for that.
That wasn't bad at all. That was, for just running with a topic, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was. I mean, in terms of just being able to go on random stuff, that was definitely good. I was too busy thinking of what the next word could be.
Okay, so I got stuck at the end. I've been genuinely thinking about adding more pastels to my outfit, like into my wardrobe. But the problem is I am like a pale ginger motherfucker, and like I don't need to look more washed out than I am already naturally. And I didn't. And this is something that I've been slowly coming to terms with. And honestly, it's a relief to say it out loud.
Yeah, it'd just be weird because you would kind of look like you're Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future, and your parents didn't fuck.
I already look like an albino Easter bunny.
Yeah, you're just starting to fade from existence if you wore pastels.
Yeah, it's not.
I can smell your blanket from here, by the way.
I do love this thing.
Like that was so descriptive. I could smell it. So.
Yeah.
I you know what? I talked a lot of shit about that, but I do recommend a weighted blanket. It has been a comforting force.
Well, I know that they're useful for like autistic children. So I don't. Yeah, no. I don't know why I'm bringing up that fact, but I just like.
I need like one of those like foil blankets that you wrap around like a panicking dog during a thunderstorm. Like.
Yeah. Like I think that fucker's faking it. That blanket's amazing. He's just having an excuse.
This thing is fucking. I love the weighted blanket.
Sorry, now I'm just imagining you throwing like rice at an autistic kid to be like, count these real quick. No weighted blanket for you. That's so
sorry, that cuts deep. I've worked with a lot of autistic kids. They would feel really upset that I was throwing rice with them, but they would be trying to count the rice.
I never count anything. Like I legit never do.
Wait, didn't you just say you were doing like stocks before this? Like, yeah, I don't count shit.
Yeah, I don't know how to do basic math though. Like I legit could never really get through math very well. I just know how to chart. That's all I know how to do. I know how to.
So, are your affinities spatial?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I don't even know what spatial analysis really means. I don't even know. Why?
Right. No, it's no worries.
No, I don't like the stars.
Like I said, I got no benefits. I got none of the benefits you're supposed to from it. I got nothing. You know, it's like
Nothing. You're funny. You got that.
I can barely construct jokes. Like I don't know basic grammar format and stuff. Like I legit know nothing.
I am incapable of forming concrete structures and syntax. Like you just like that was all grammatically correct, and you deserve credit for that.
I teach high school English. I don't get it either, man. It's all myths. All right.
Brains are weird.
Other feedback for Jester here. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Nicely done. I've been going down a bit of a YouTube rabbit hole. And I got to say, I love it. I love it so much. I love this certain type of video, which is, it's just Russian men, acting overly confident around wild animals. Like I watched a video where a man full on bitch slaps a lion in front of his pride. All right. Like he was taking over a Lion King sequel, just being like, I'm running Pride Rock now, bitch. And I loved it because I was like, that man is too comfortable with death. Like he is overly friendly with his own mortality. Because like I think if you're gonna die tragically and violently, it should at least come as a surprise to other people. Like nobody would be like, "Oh, Sergey, yeah, we all called lions. We're going to kill him. We knew that was going to happen years ago." Like I can't believe somebody is that brazen and ballsy around things that kill other things for a living. Like how shitty is Russia that is the best way to play Russian roulette for you? Is just pissing off lions. I gotta say, as a teacher, I have a lot of teacher friends that are complaining about online learning. I gotta say, I love it. Oh my God. My best life is that I get to mute a teenager every time they talk. All right. Like I spend half my day just pretending my internet doesn't work just so I don't have to interact with them. It's been great. Other people have been struggling with it. Like I had one of my teaching friends, they're like, "Hey man, did you hear about Greg?" Like Greg shared his screen and he accidentally shared his downloads and the kids saw all of the porn he got. And I was like, why is that embarrassing? Why should I feel bad for Greg? Like, I don't care at all if teenagers see what kind of porn I'm into. All right. Like all they would see is a lot of food play stuff. All right. And I bet they probably could guess that like I'm going to be into chocolate sauce and whipped cream on things. All right. And it's not even like a sexual fetish that I have for it. It's just I have diabetes and I want what I can't have. All right. Like I would be more terrified of kids seeing my most played song on Spotify than I would them seeing what porn I'm into. All right. Because if they saw my most played song on Spotify, they would see that I've played Afternoon Delight every day since March 13th. And that's because my wife and I have both been working from home from that day or since that day. And when lunchtime rolls around, I just put it on and hope that'll seduce her. And it doesn't. I've been playing it every day since, just hoping that a slide whistle solo will really get her horned up. All right. That she likes a folksy song about noon sex. It doesn't work. I don't need kids to see that I failed to seduce my wife. All right. Like if they see that I played that song that many times, it just becomes the soundtrack of my suicide note at a certain point. I also have got to say that I really am digging just not having to know what anything is going on around me. Like there are days where I just don't know what the outside looks like. Like I just have to ask the kids in my classroom what's happening with the weather and we like crowdsource it. And I can't tell who's lying to me anymore because I don't ever have to look outside. And it's pretty fucking great. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to work on. So, all right, let's hear some feedback.
I love being able to mute a teenager. The beauty of that is fabulous. For one thing.
That was brilliant. That was
Mm-hmm.
brilliant.
I want to hear more about your food fetishes. Is it food porn or just pictures of food? Is it like you're screen capping?
Yeah,
cooking shows.
Hosts from the Food Network Challenge, really like
Yeah.
Rachel Ray does it.
That was a reveal.
Yeah.
That was a reveal.
I like your afternoon delight as foreplay, but I mean, I wanted you to tell me more ways that you try to do foreplay. Like, it's like married people when they have foreplay, like, I'm sorry, but usually married men, and I'm only speaking for my husband and probably you, but like, you guys forget what foreplay was like when you're dating, and so it's doing dumb things like playing afternoon delight, or my husband like takes his penis and knocks it on my shoulder like that, you know. It'd just be interesting to hear more failed ways that you do foreplay, I think.
You mean there's more ways than a song from the 70s? I don't understand, Sherry.
I didn't
Exactly.
immediately understand that terrible song from the 70s was sexy. I didn't.
How?
It's about sex.
Yeah.
I know. But
Did you think it was just
also-
about like a lunch special at a local restaurant?
Yeah, but any song that I feel like you could accompany on the spoons, and like I don't feel is a sexy song. Boom, boom.
Let me tell you how we do things in Washington. All right.
I don't know. I just didn't catch that.
I'm trying to think, what's the name of that band too? Because it's something weird about it.
Starland Vocal Band, I think.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing that I know that, but you know, I'm old, so.
Yeah, Starline Vocal Band. Yeah, but it just looks like it's sung by a cult. So maybe that's also the problem.
Could be.
I don't know. If it's right, it's right.
Yeah, I just don't understand why you have to wait till the cold, dark night.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a very musical workshop.
It has. Sammy got some Sammy in there.
I think this is about the weirdest workshop I've ever been to, actually.
We'll take
And
that as a compliment.
I mean that in a good way.
No, I'll grab that criticism and I'll hold it tight.
Afternoon delay.
I didn't realize there was a song. There's a movie called Afternoon Delight, New Nanny, Big Trouble.
What kind of movie is that?
Porn.
Josh Radnor's in it, and so is Jane Lynch, so I really hope not.
Oh,
porn.
wow.
But then again, Jane Lynch, I don't know. They say personality trumps looks any day of the week.
I don't
It's
know.
true. I'd do her.
Yeah, but we know you're a chuckle fucker. Like you're that
Another
porn
word.
star list.
The
Sorry, I
chuckle
love
fuckers.
referencing another comedian's jokes that none of you know.
Yeah.
So it sounds like I'm insulting Sherry, but no, it's a.
Have
It's a
y'all
joke.
seen Jane Lynch in The Weakest Link? I honestly think she's better than the British version, because she's funny instead of just like ball breaking.
I have not.
But that is how humor is in England. It's either like very absurd or just mean. That's why all the men are weaker. All right. So this brings us to the part of the workshop where we plug our pluggables. So, Robert, where can we see you? Where can we find you?
I am on Instagram at Robert Schmobert.
All right. Jester, where can we find you? Where can we see you?
Nowhere. I ghostwrite a bunch of shit and work at corporate events, so I'm a ghost. Bye. Pass.
All right. Chris, where can we find you? Where can we see you?
At Christopher_Waldeck at Instagram, Cold Brew Comedy on Facebook, Twitter at Dr. Labdeck before I change it to Cold Brew Comedy.
All right. And Sherry, what about yourself?
You can find me on Heavy Petting with Sherry Hardman at either Facebook, YouTube, or your favorite podcast.
All right. And you can see me on By Its Cover podcast, one I host with my wife, where we watch movies and judge them only using the covers. This has been the 183rd workshop. We will be back again tomorrow night with more comedians and more jokes. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.